So before I just start this lecture, I will quickly overview few things which you have already studied. But in this lecture, or actually it is not in one lecture. All these contents will be covered in a series of lectures. So this method is called rate-based method for PEC column. So in this method, we have to cover these outlines provided here. So first of all, what this method is, on which things it is based, what is HETP, height equivalent to theoretical plate, or height equivalent to theoretical stage, uh, number of gas transfer unit, height of I think gas transfer something, height of bed. Then there is like superficial velocities for gas and liquid, and overall when we have designed these later on, we know that how much will be the velocities and which type of packing we have to use, what will be column diameter, pressure drop occurring across the column, and at the end there is some calculation related to mass transfer efficiency. So this is I think 6.8 and 6.7 from your textbook. And at the end there will be only one small topic left, that is related to chemical absorption. Up to now still we are just studying physical absorption. The mostly things are same, but when reaction will involve, definitely your equation will be a bit modified. So that will be the last topic, and hopefully we have to cover all these content in 4 to 5 lectures. So before I just start with the in this method, I will quickly summarize few things which you have already studied. That when we started with the absorption, we said that in this we have to bring some liquid and vapor in contact with each other. And in the start of this chapter, you have studied that there are various kind of equipment which can be used for this contact between vapor and liquid. But out of those, we selected two which were the more efficient and most widely used, and they include tray tower and PEC tower. So tray tower involve number of trays. There are different type of trays, and you have already designed that tray column. That was initially started with something related to two methods for calculating theoretical number of plates, or we call them equilibrium stages. And then later on you jump towards the calculation of actual number of trays, and for that we discuss the calculation of efficiency. And when you know the number of trays actually required for some specific separation, then we discuss the calculation related to the height of the column, tray spacing, the diameter of column. And there was one task which was referred to you, that was related to pressure drop inside column. So while we discuss these major topics, inside those there were many small things which you have discussed. For example, when we were studying this diameter, we said actually that is based on uh, flooding velocity. So we discussed those concepts related to flooding, weeping, and choking of the downcomer area. So there were journal things discussed related to this, that how much should be the area of downcomer on the plate, how much entrainment is allowed when we have to do these design calculations. We have to go for these. Later on, when you just select any type of the tray, for example, if it is a well tray, so what will be the well size? If it is seed tray, and how many mean, holes will be on the surface of tray, and so on. So what will be the active area, and a lot of such kind of simple or small calculations were discussed with those major calculations. So with all that, we concluded that how that tray tower can be designed. The next topic is related to PEC tower design, which we are just going to start. So before we start with this design, PEC towers, you already know that these are some kind of equipment in which the packing are used. So we have also discussed this in detail, but to summarize that, when PEC towers are used, but before that, PEC tower involves some kind of packing. They don't have something like trays as we have in a tray tower. So there are a packing, and we also discussed this, that there are two majorly different type of packing: structured packing and random packings. And inside those, then there were also different classifications, and also we discussed that which one is better and why. And then later on, we also talked about this, that in which conditions actually you go for PEC tower. So PEC tower are used in some situations. For example, if there are corrosive fluids or corrosive gases involved in your system, the liquid and the gas which are coming in contact, if they are corrosive, we discussed that if they are corrosive, because tray towers are made up of all metallic material, so that will cause corrosion to that metallic material, and the body of column will be damaged, or you have to replace it, or you can't sustain that. Otherwise, if you have to perform that separation either by using tray tower, then you have to build your equipment with expensive materials. So just to avoid that expensive material, to avoid some extra cost, then we can go for such kind of separation by using this kind of tower which we call PEC tower. So inside this tower, inside PEC tower, definitely the outer layer, outer boundary is of like some material which is metallic. So for this we can just make its internal of some material which is anti-corrosive. But other the packings, there were 3 different material used for making the packing, and that include metallic, ceramic and plastic. So just we can avoid metallic and ceramic as well as plastic trays can be used for such kind of services in which corrosive or there is a risk of corrosion. Then the other we discussed at that time that in those operation or in those separation where there is a lot of foam formation, in those cases then tray tower are not a good choice. The reason is when there is a foam formation on the surface of a tray, and that foam will rise from one tray to the next tray, whole area will be filled with the foam, then there will be no vapor liquid disengagement space. And when that is not available, definitely there will be no good separation. So in order to avoid that, we can go for these kind of system in which there are not trays, there are only packing, and when liquid and vapor are coming in contact with each other, they are continuously flowing, and there is no need for such kind of vapor liquid disengagement space in these kind of equipment. So they can help us in those services where foam formation takes place. Then there is another option that was discussed, that was related to the pressure drop. Vacuum or low pressure drop services prefer to use these kind of equipment, PEC tower, because inside these the pressure drop is less as compared to the pressure drop inside tray tower. So in that case they will help you to go for. And then the another option I think that was discussed related to the liquid hold up. In tray towers, we have to hold some liquid on the surface of tray where vapor and liquid come in contact. In order to hold that liquid, there is some wear, and you have to maintain some liquid level up to the wear height on the surface of tray. So whenever such kind of hold is not necessary, then you can still go for this PEC tower. So because here there are various other advantages discussed in earlier points, they help you to like go for more better advantages compared to tray tower. But for those application where there is a liquid hold up is necessary, and especially in case of reaction systems to bring in contact vapor and liquid for more time, so in that case that those are preferred, because on the surface of tray when the liquid is holded for some time, so vapor can get in contact better way, and reaction can take place easily. So then in the last lecture, at the end of lecture, when we calculated or we discussed the diameter, we pointed out that when diameter of a column tray tower is less than 2 feet, then it is not good to go with the tray tower. You should go for PEC tower, and that was actually related to operational or maintenance point of view, because when tower diameter is too low, so its internals cannot be accessed. So I ask you to just look at few such kind of diagram of trays in which you can actually dismantle some part of the tray and can make a way to just pass inside the column from top to tray to the bottom tray. And I told you that in refineries where there are big column trays have like such kind of construction that in between the trays some part can be just separated by just unbolting. There are the nut and bolts, so just you can remove some part of each tray and people can move inside the tower for cleaning purpose or for maintenance purpose. So these are the few reasons due to this pack tower are better to go for. So all this, although we have discussed up to now, but because this was discussed initially at the start of the chapter, so I have just summarized it for your just refreshing, so that you know that why we are going for using these kind of towers. So PEC tower are also widely used inside the industries for such kind of separation inside the absorption column. So these PEC tower, when liquid and vapor come in contact with each other inside this, they are continuously moving, and they just come in contact at everywhere inside the column, but there are no just you can't say that there are stages, physically distinguishable stages as they were in tray towers. So here liquid will be entering from the top, and there are some liquid distributor. So liquid will just pass through the packing, as well the vapor which entered from the bottom and pass through the distributor. They just start rising up, and liquid and vapor everywhere will be coming in contact, but they don't just stay or stick as it happens in case of tray tower. So these are PEC tower. When we will later just go with the calculation, you will see that they are better described by the mass transfer model than by the equilibrium state concepts, because in case of trays we say that vapor and liquid, they come in contact with each other, and when they are leaving the tray they are in equilibrium with each other. But here in this case, because vapor and liquid are not just staying as in case of tray tower, so the equilibrium state concept will not help us here, but the other one which are like mass transfer models, they help us to calculate some mass transfer coefficients, and they will be used actually in developing the equations which are used for designing of these equipment. So normally when PEC towers are being used, so their performance, or we can call it generally efficiency, that is represented in terms of something called equivalent equilibrium stage, or you can call it height equivalent theoretical plate or height equivalent theoretical stage. So what does that mean? That means that if you want to go for some specific separation, and you install one tray tower and do that separation with the help of installing the trays, as well you do same separation by using PEC tower. So we have to look at how much height of packing is needed to reach that some specific separation, which is for example done with the help of 5 trays. Let's say that for any separation you need 5 trays, so you have to evaluate that if you use PEC tower instead of this tray tower or trays, so how much packing height will be needed to just go for or to get that separation. So there is some formula which links these two. HETP, this height equivalent to theoretical plate, or height equivalent theoretical plate, that is just a ratio of PEC height to the number of equilibrium stages. So as I said, that if you know that how much is are needed theoretical plates for some specific separation, and if we do that same separation with the help of some PEC height, if you just take the ratio, that will give you this factor height equivalent to theoretical plate. Overall, like this height equivalent to theoretical plates has no theoretical basis, or this equation is not like derived based on some model or theory. This is just developed based on the observation from experimental data. You can call it like this is empirical equation. So people have performed number of experiments for different kind of separation by using both tower, tray tower as well as spec tower, and then they have seen that this is the relationship between them, and that was named as height equivalent to theoretical plate. For example, earlier we have discussed this or solved this problem, although our problem solution which we did was a bit different from this, but in the book there is an example, I think 6.1, in which you just remove ethanol from the carbon dioxide stream, and that was used, absorbent was water there. So you calculated that there are equilibrium stages needed for that separation. They were, for example, exactly 6.46. That was also calculated in example 6.2 by using Cruncher method. So if we just want to see that how much height will be needed to get that ethanol separated from the system, and that was like 90%, 97% removal of ethanol from the inlet stream. If we want to separate that with the help of some back bed or back column, so how much height will be needed? Here the height needed will be different for the different cases. The reason is, like, you know that there are different type of the trays, packing. When we studied the packing, we said that there are random packing, and then there was something called structured packing. So later on, after discussing that topic, then we have generally discussed some parameters, that which one is more effective or what is the value of different parameter. So if you remember, the structured packing were more efficient as compared to the random packing. So here you will see, if you remember some of those names of those packing. So here we are going to discuss number of example of different packing types. So you will see that height of the bed needed for some specific packing is different if you select different type of packing. For example, if we go for 1.5 inch metal pall rings, so this metal pall ring was some of the random packing. So in that case, here we mentioned that if it has an average HETP of 2.25 feet. So in that case, if you know this HETP, height equivalent to the theoretical plates, as he mentioned, this is average at HETP. HETP, by using these kind of packing and applied for various systems, so there will be different definitely value of this HETP. So they have taken this one average value of HETP, and that is 2.25 feet. So in that case, height of the pack tower will be simply 14.5 feet. From where does it come? Here you know the number of theoretical plates needed for this separation, 6.46, and if you multiply this with this number of 2.25, which is HETP, these two number multiply, and you will get the main required height. So the next type, which is if you use metal intellects, IMTP number 40, some random packing, but that is this better than the first one, because its height equivalent to the theoretical plate has just improved in terms of that whenever this height equivalent to theoretical plate, it will be reducing, it will be going down. It's mean they are coming close to each other, their value are coming close to each other. So here when it is 2, it's mean the height of bed is only 9.2 feet for this packing, because this is definitely will be more efficient as compared to the first packing. And then if you don't remember these, that how random packing they were classified and which were more efficient, but at least inside those there were some classification, there were 4 generations, and they were developed with the passage of time, and with the passage of time their efficiency was improved. But last one definitely was the different one, and if you recall that structured packing were the best packing, and out of those he has selected here Velopac 250Y. So for this average HETP is only 1.2 feet. So when it is 1.2 feet, the height needed for this specific kind of separation is only 7.75 feet. So from here you can see that whenever you will be using different type of the packing to meet or to get the same separation, you will need different height of the packings, and due to this it was mentioned earlier in the discussion of the packing types that structured packing are the most efficient packings, and here you can see that for those packing HETP is a less number and you need small height of the structured packing. But at the same time, when their height, although you need small height, column height will decrease, but in case of cost, this was the most costly, which was the structured packing, and random packing were less costly as compared to this. But whenever being a design engineer, you are designing, you have to come up with number of solution, and all are dependent then on the economics, that in terms of like construction as well as later in terms of like operation, which of these will be efficient for us to use. Generally, whenever you will look at the lower HTTP are more expensive and complex the packing. So definitely lower HTTP are mostly for structured packing. So whenever you will see here that HTTP is just decreasing and you are moving towards more structured and definitely more expensive packing. So in this method, in this rate method, when we have to design, so first of all, again here we will need operating line equation for the absorber and stripper. So operating line equations are way similar as we have already discussed for the tray tower. So here what you have to do, you have to select the absorber. Like in this case, you can see here that there is an absorber in which some liquid is just entering from the top, and the vapor or the gas from which you want to remove something, they are just entering from the bottom and they are leaving. Although here there is no such direct classification between them or separation between them as you have to do in case of when you were discussing absorber and staple tray tower, you used to number them from top to bottom or from bottom to the top. Although the diagram looks quite similar, quite overall in terms of these numbers or notations, but just this first one is the absorber, in which we are just considering some top portion of the length L. And in case of this stripper, because in this here the gas enters from the top or stripping media, and here this is the absorbing media, which is the liquid entering from the top. Due to this, here top portion is selected, and for here we will just selected some bottom portion, and we will apply actually the material balance on some solute which we want to remove. If you remember, solute balance was used for the absorber and stripper in case of tray tower also. So here when we apply the material balance on some solute, for example, its concentration in the liquid is what is its amount that we will find, as well as in the gas which is entering and how much it is leaving. Similarly here two are inlet stream and two are outlet stream, and inside that, because we have not selected complete tower, we have just selected some portion which is of length L. So here you can see that for this bubble area, the liquid entering has like flow rate of liquid at inlet, and some component which we are concerned has a X in, which is entering from here, while when it will be leaving from this, then just at that point we say that its composition is X, and liquid flow rate is just considered as liquid leaving from tray, or sorry, from part or length L. And this is the vapor entering from to this with the mole fraction Y and vapor flow rate, and then they are just leaving out. So just here, if we apply the material balance on solute, that's its inlet can be calculated that as a X in L in plus Y in multiplied by V in. We can write this is equal to the outlet, because here again we are not considering any reaction, only the physical absorption. Liquid and vapor are coming in contact, so simply material balance will be inlet is equal to outlet. So for outlet, here we have one liquid leaving from here, X, with a liquid flow rate leaving from this length L, and vapor leaving from Y out, V out. So just the purpose of operating line is to, our development of operating line, our derivation of operating line is to get some equation which actually links y and x. If you just recall from the trait our design, we used to link, or we used to derive an equation which can link values of y and x. So here because we are also again concerned here with the value of y and equation linking y and x. So the equation which I told you, that flow rate in from here plus in from here plus leaving from here and here, you will get some equation, and we can just rearrange that equation to get the value of y. So here there will be something y v l. So we have to get the value of y, so just you will just divide all of the terms with this VL, and at the same time you will just rearrange in such a way that y is just rearranged to the other side. Kindly, this is simple two-step math, just write complete equation and rearrange it. Yes, the thing here which is replacement of these liquid and vapor flow rates with simple L and Y. The assumption here is that the concentration of solute inside the liquid is very small, that is very dilute. So in that case, the liquid flow rate at the top here as well, liquid flow rate leaving from either from here or from the bottom of the tower, then that will be not much affected, that will remain same. Actually, you say that this liquid at the inlet is equivalent to the liquid leaving from this path of this height, either it is leaving from the this, and that is equal to simple liquid flow rate. And at the same time, for vapor stream also you consider that this contain very small amount of impurity, this is also dilute. So in that case, V in is equal to V out is equal to V leaving from some length, that will be equal to simple vapor flow rate. So it's mean whenever we have these liquid and vapor flow rates given to us as well, like if we have something x in and y out, then we can develop some equation which can link y and x. And when you did you solve the problem related to the trait tower, you use such kind of equation in which when you have calculated these all other terminologies, then you can just get the values of x and y, and later on you can plot them to get the operating line. At the same time, for the stripper, because here we have to select just the bottom portion from where stripping agent is entering. So just similarly here, the things leaving and entering to this, we will write the equation. So there will be a small change in the equation as compared to the first one, so that you can get as well as operating line for the stripper. So here actually x and y, which we are saying they are the parameter which are linked with these, and with the help of those we draw the actually operating lines. So these x and y represents the composition of the gas and liquid in contact at any like vertical location, that x and y represents the mole fraction or fraction of the like that species inside the liquid as well as inside the gas. So these are the equation which will be used to just draw the lines which we call operating lines. So when you look at this method and use it for the absorption, so with a solute actually mass transfer from the gas to the liquid stream. So in case of this absorption tower, which is Peck tower, so two film theory applies. I hope you already are aware about it, but we will just go through this, that what two film theory is. So two film theory means actually whenever vapor and liquid are coming in contact with each other, we just consider theoretically that there is some liquid stream and then there will be some vapor stream, and they will be just coming in contact with each other. So there will be some interface between them, like this here. This is this side liquid, and if this is vapor, when they just come in contact with each other, there is some interface formed between them, and it is considered that there is a concentration gradient inside each film. There is a one film on this side and other film on this side, so there will be bulk of the liquid flowing on here, as well as bulk of the gas is flowing from here. So but vapor and liquid where they are just interacting, that is considered as a interface. And inside this, along this interface or around this interface, there exists some concentration gradient. Concentration gradient, I will just show you diagram clear on the next slide. So when there is concentration gradient, then there is a mass transfer taking place. So any component, for example here, which we want to transfer to the liquid side, so its concentration will be low here due to this here from bulk concentration, that species will be moving towards this area. And inside the liquid, because that concentration of that component as just liquid absorb, it will be high at this point, but in the other side of the liquid, which didn't contain dense species, so it's mean then it will be moving from this high concentration towards low concentration area, and in this way this operation takes place or this separation occurs. So at the interface is that area where two phases are just interacting, coming in contact. So there will be a physical equilibrium at the interface point. But around that there will be a concentration gradient. But at this line, exactly at this, they will be in equilibrium. So this, as we have discussed in Cray Tower, the operating line and equilibrium line, they are still of great importance here for the PEC tower. So let's look at first of all the diagram relating this or telling about it. So you can see that here there is a liquid bulk gas stream. Bulk gas means large amount of the gas or that stream, its composition and somehow a partial pressure and mole fraction are given. So then this gas is coming in contact with the liquid. Here on this side there is a bulk liquid phase composition or liquid concentration bulk, and then they just come in contact, and there is just one film formation on the liquid side, and there is a small film formation on the vapor side. Due to this, they call it two-film theory. One film is formed on the gas side and other is on the liquid side, and they just come where they are just interacting with each other. That line is just named as interface. Inside between those, where they are coming in contact with each other. So here you can see some lines that they are showing like bulk gas composition. So where there is a bulk means large amount of the gas. So inside this, if you look at the composition of any component, that is constant, that is not much changing, that will be overall remain same throughout the bulk. But when you will look at this film, where it is interacting with the liquid, as you keep on moving inside that film, the concentration keep on reducing, that goes down. The reason is here, when it will come, definitely it will start transferring towards the liquid, so its concentration will start decreasing. While you will look on the other side, which is the liquid, inside that definitely there is a deficiency of that component. That component is in very small amount. Due to this reason, whenever you see that when we bring the liquid inside these tower, even we say that liquid should be pure, that doesn't contain any solute. So just here we consider that there is a small amount of that component on the interface in that, and when you will move away from this interface inside the film of the liquid, its concentration will go down, and then when it goes towards the bulk, there is a constant concentration, and that will be low as compared to this stage where it is just getting that component or absorbing that solute from the gas phase. So along the this film inside the liquid, its concentration will keep on decreasing. Due to this reason, then liquid will be able to get more of this from the gas stream, as it will be just moving down forward like. So here in this method, where we are going to design rate-based method of the interaction of the liquid and vapor on the surface of these trays, trays on the surface of the packing, then this theory will be applied. And when you have studied this theory, I hope you derived some mass transfer models related to that, and those we will be just quickly using here for the derivation of equations, which will help us to calculate like packed bed height and so on, various other parameters. So whenever you will look at some given problem specification, that means that if you want to go for some specific separation, so for any kind of separation, the location of two lines, I mean equilibrium line as well as there is operating line. So their location is independent of whether the tray tower is being used or PEC tower. Mean the equation where they will be the equation which will give you that how you have to draw those lines, that is independent, because if you see either you are using the tray tower or you are using PEC tower, you have some equation which links x and y with each other. There is nothing else. So that only involves the parameter. If you see in those equation, either of this tray tower or PEC tower, or earlier when you discussed tray tower, these equations which are used to draw the lines, you can see that they didn't involve anything related to like packing or anything related to the trays. They only involve the parameter which are composition as well as flow rates. Due to this reason, here he mentioned that either you are using the tray tower or the PEC tower, they are not affected by this. Either of these is being used, you can draw the lines, because they will be more or less of the same shape, or they will give you the same kind of geometries, either you are using of these. So methods for determining the minimum absorbent liquid or the stripping media, which we did for the tray tower, that is also valid here, because if you will go back and look at the equation which were used to calculation of minimum liquid flow rate as well minimum stripping media or gas flow rate, they involve, I think, only the flow rate of vapor. There was K value as well as only there was absorption factor, and absorption factor also involved these kind of things. So or sorry, not absorption factor, there was something related to that how much any component you want to remove, that was actually a fraction of species absorbed. So those are only involved in that equation. So that equation also did not say anything, either it is PEC or tray tower. Those equations are valid when you will be designing these PEC tower. So you can calculate the minimum absorbent flow rate or even stripping vapor flow rate with the help of same equation which was already discussed. So here when you will look at later for the design purpose to calculate these equivalent heights and that stuff. So rate of mass transfer here in PEC tower. So that is expressed actually in terms of mass transfer coefficient for each phase. As when we started with this discussion of rate-based method, we said that they are normally they involve mass transfer laws, and they are based on those mass transfer coefficient. The equation will be based on those. They are not based on the equilibrium. So coefficient, which you know that mass transfer coefficient, they are represented with this K. They are based on the unit area for mass transfer. Unit area for the mass transfer. Like here in this case, that unit area is interfacial area or interface, where we said that this separation or this absorption takes place or is based on two film theory, in which there is a film of the gas and the other side there is a film of the liquid, and their area where they interact is just called interface, or here we will call it interfacial area. But if you look at those equations which involve this K and they involve this unit area, for these kind of application where we are using it in PEC tower and in which vapor and liquid are interacting with each other, it is really difficult to calculate this area for interfacial mass transfer. That if there is some other application where you can very easily get that what is interfacial area, that will be easy. But as we have drawn this diagram, that is for simple flow of vapor and liquid or gas and liquid, but inside the tower you will see that when liquid will be flowing from the top and it will be coming in contact with the vapor everywhere, so everywhere there will be some interfacial area, and that is not easy to calculate. So due to this reason people have suggested some other equation which involve volumetric mass transfer coefficient, and that is represented with Ka. So already you can see that here A represents an interfacial area, but we have rearranged, or we have come up with some equation in which we don't need to calculate separate area for that to do the calculation of K, but we will be calculating some factor Ka. So in that case, when you go for this here, this is where gas and liquid will be contacting, and if it is just simple straightforward geometry like this, that liquid is flowing and gas is flowing, they are coming in contact, maybe it is easy to calculate this area. But on the surface of the packings where liquid and vapor are contacting, then this is not really easy task to go for. So for that, then they have come up with this Ka, then that we call it volumetric mass transfer coefficient. So here this equation involves like, because we call it rate based method, so for rate of transfer of some component from one stream to other, what will be the rate, like for example a rate of transfer of some vapor through this through this film, so that is just equal to Kya, that is volumetric mass transfer coefficient multiplied by just concentration gradient. Concentration gradient, here you can see that it's if just we look at the mole fraction, that is Y, and for this inside this film, it is just on the surface of interface, here Yi for Y interface, here on this surface it is Yi. So because here it is Y and then this is Yi, there is a difference inside this. Due to this, mass transfer will be taking place. The gas or that solute component will be transferred towards the liquid, towards the interface, and when it comes to the interface, definitely jumps towards the liquid, because the concentration in liquid is even less than this. So then when if you look on the liquid side, a rate of the transfer of these species or this solute will be equal to something involving this mass transfer coefficient multiplied by concentration gradient. So in that case, you can see that concentration of any solute which you are absorbing, that will be high at interface as compared to the bulk liquid, because due to this reason we are using the liquid to transfer that component from this gas towards the liquid. If it is already higher in amount, definitely then there will be no transfer towards this, maybe opposite or something like that. So but here in this case, at the interface, inside the liquid at interface, concentration is higher as compared to the concentration inside the bulk. So due to this, here we mentioned that it is Xi minus X small. So you can just rearrange this equation, because both are equal to the rate of transfer of any species from the gas, that will be equal to rate of transfer of that species to the liquid. Definitely they are equal. Due to this, here we mentioned that rate is equal to for both. So you can just rearrange this equation in this form, and later on this Ky is the volumetric mass transfer coefficient for gas phase side, and Kxa is volumetric mass transfer coefficient for liquid phase side. So from here, I think we will just start with the next discussion, because that leaves some more time, and already it is about 2 hours. So let's just start from here up to here. If you have any question, just let me know. Otherwise, next time we will just derive some equation that will be then definitely being used to calculate from where we started, that was called HETP. For any packing, we will be calculating HETP, and we will be involving such kind of equation. To get definitely more complex, we have to just introduce some other parameters, and then we'll conclude it with something, that height of the bed required for some specific separation. Thank you so much. Any question?